So hey, this is Laura, and I just finished my weekly hike at the canyon with a good friend of mine. And I love doing that because I love the opportunity of being out in nature. And we always hike up high, so we get to see a big, huge, holistic view of the world beneath us here in our hometown. Today, because she and I are both in process of change and committed to change and recovery, our weekly hike is actually a time for us to really share ideas and give feedback and talk over things that have popped up in the week and process that. And so it's a very valuable time for me. And you develop a special kind of relationship when you have somebody who you can just be 100% real and authentic with. And she is that for me. And so this morning we got to talk about the fact that I had 2 funerals in my family this last week. And for me, it's the first time I have been back to the home I grew up in since I graduated from high school. I've been there once. And I got to go back to where I grew up on the farm. And it was a bittersweet trip for me. There's a lot of joy there, but there's also a lot of pain because as a child, those are the places where I took on some of my own limiting beliefs and experienced a few things that have definitely made an impact on my life. But I think the coolest thing for me in going back this time was to go back there, and I went back to the farm and the home I grew up in. And you know, when you're a child and you're living, your world seems so big and everything. And as I was walking through and driving through the area and the farm and looking at things I hardly recognized, I realized how small. I kept saying to my cousin who was with me, "Oh my, everything is so small. Everything looks so small." And I realized that it was small because I have lived and experienced so many areas of the United States, and have lived in big areas and big communities. And but for people who live there and never lived anywhere else, it's everything. And that's totally okay for them. But the other thing was, so I got to realize that, you know, the world that I thought was everything was actually just a really small part of my life. And more so than anything, I went and visited the cemetery where not only there's like 4 generations of my grandparents and great-grandparents buried there. And a lot of family members, my family settled that area. And what I really got to look at and realize while I was there is I'm not them. They lived their lives, and their lives were there, and they did what they did. And a lot of times, because I grew up in an area where my dad grew up, my grandparents grew up, my great-grandparents grew up, sometimes I felt like I was them, you know, that I was just a part of who they were. And even though I am a part of who they were, I am me. And I don't have to have the same life experiences, and I don't have to experience the same level of financial lack of them. And that they had many gifts that they gave to me, but I'm my own person with my own life and my own dreams and my own goals and my own responsibilities to myself to make those happen. So I'm grateful for the legacy that they gave me, but I'm so grateful to be able to be free from that, little lingering belief somewhere deep inside of me that I was them. And so it was a really great opportunity to recognize just a lot of things about my life, and see people I haven't connected with a really long time, and recognize how much I have grown, and how grateful I am for a life of variety and really big experiences far beyond just that little small town that I grew up in. And so that's it. Thanks. This is Laura Gilson saying embrace abundance and prosperity.